Colby, you know what you never do during Halloween?
I don't know, Barry. What's that?
The golden rule. You never trick the treat. It sounds like a pimp term. I'm not gonna I'm gonna be 100% honest. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. What's going on, guys? It's spooktacular.
Halloween.
Yeah. I was gonna try to think about like how can we keep this going? Spooktacular, Octobular, perpendicular.
And then I was like, Halloween. Hello, fantastic.
I know, it really is. I mean, this, if you guys know, this is our favorite. Well, it's my favorite month.
Like, it is. It is.
Right?
It's
The all the horror films come out. You know, everyone's in a spooky mood. And, you know, like Edge and Christian from WWE used to say, the freaks do come out whenever they want. It's at night. I'm pretty sure he used to say it's at night.
Yeah, it's probably.
But October is like, they get super horny.
Would that be like Edge and Christian, or would that been when they had like, what?
Yeah, Gengar or whatever.
Grell.
Yeah, the when they're doing their vampire thing.
Yes. Yeah.
But oh my gosh, I don't know why it's like this is my Christmas. I feel like this is dude Christmas, right? There's definitely guys out there that love Christmas,
right.
But like a lot of people get super hyped for Christmas, mainly a specific sex.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and like maybe when you're younger, you're like, you know, women love Halloween too, because then they can kind of dress.
Well, that's what I was gonna say is like you have
know.
that like that 2% of women who do sexy Santa, but you have like 75% of women who do like slutty
nurse
Pikachu or whatever it is. Yeah, like,
I know, but like, you know, what's funny is just like, yeah, that's nice and everything, but the girl that's like super into Halloween, where she does like the, you know, this, what is it, like the makeup, like the movie makeup.
it goes like full cosplay.
Yeah, and it's like, that's so cool, you know? It's funny, right? You know, obviously, when you're younger, too, you're like, Halloween is the best, because slutty nurses are all about
Right. And even younger than that, it's free candy. It's free candy from every single house. You only get like how many presents do you get from mom and dad?
Right?
And then you get some like socks from grandma.
Yeah,
no,
and then you get 5 pounds of candy.
It's still awesome, but
yeah, and you get to egg the house that gives out rulers and apples.
It's aching. And
I don't think I've
toilet
ever.
papering, yeah.
I don't think I ever ran into that as a young pup. Did you? Like run into like the rulers and apples lady or family? Pencils.
We had a doctor or a dentist that lived on our block. They gave us toothbrushes, but they gave us candy and toothbrushes.
Oh, okay.
So it was like just preventative, I guess. It was.
You're like,
enjoy this candy, but don't get cavities.
He gave the dentists want you to get cavities so get the money, but
that's true.
He gave out the candy, so I was like, I know what you guys are gonna do, so here's some candy as well.
Right.
Please don't egg my house with eggs that you've been fermenting for the past month.
I've never done the fermented eggs.
Oh,
it's always
disgusting.
I don't plan ahead. That well, so it's.
See, well, I'm Filipino, so we used to egg people's houses with duck eggs, but like it's the Filipino balut. So it's not, you don't just get yolk around your house. Now you have like dead duck fetuses.
That is definitely a Halloween.
I knew this one kid who used to Ziploc bag his poop with water.
Right.
And then he would like, but it's just like such a dangerous situation because, you know, sometimes if you throw something like that too hard.
Yep.
And so one time he did tell me, he's like, yeah, I threw it too hard and I got shit all over it. I was like, well, that's karma.
Right.
You know, like, Come on, man. Eggs is like you can kind of like wash it off a little bit easier, and it's not as gross. Toilet paper is a bitch though. I don't know if you've ever had to clean up toilet paper.
I have, yes.
They did it to our school back in California, and they made the students help. Because they're like, one of you students did it, now all of you have to clean it.
And you were like, damn it, Bryson.
Yeah, it is some white guy. It was some white guy.
It was.
I think his name was Connor. But yeah, let's get into introducing the first movie of the month. And today, me and Kobe are gonna be doing a little tag team because we both love Halloween, and it's just like, it's just not fair. Just one person gets to pick all the spooky.
Right, and the way the spaces go, if one person gets Halloween, they also get Christmas. Yeah. It's like that's not even fair.
So yeah, so Kobe's on the first on the dock for today, and we got to do our Rhinefest trailer.
Yep.
This one's easier. When adults say don't go in there, teens will go looking for a scare. During All Hallows Eve, when dangers lurk, hoping for treats because tricks do hurt. Will the group of young teens dodge harm? We're going to find out in the indie film 2016, The Barn.
The Barn.
Gosh, this movie feels like a college final.
So,
I gotta say.
They filmed it to be a homage to 80s horror movies. And that's why it looks like it was filmed 20 years prior to when it was filmed.
I actually don't mind the film, like how they shot it. The acting is very. It's like you're homaging the '80s films, but you're stepping down the acting a little bit below.
Fair enough.
But no, this movie is a ton of fun. So let's get into the recap of this film, right? This movie starts off in a small town, very reminiscent of like Children of the Corn type of town.
Right. Yep.
But they're everyone's conjugating in the church, and they're like, "Oh, welcome back! We're gonna welcome back the harvest. What is it?
Harvest Festival or?
Oh no, but it's like a hootenanny.
Oh yes, yeah. Yes.
I always wondered, is it hootenanny or hootenanny? See, I don't know. But if you guys don't know what a harvest festival is, it's usually to sort of celebrate the upcoming harvest,
the solstice or whatever.
Yeah. Oh no, it's for the harvest.
Right.
For for growing plants and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and
maybe it is not the solstice.
Well,
maybe that's
the winter solstice.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a different solstice. But yeah, it's sort of trying to you're celebrating, you're creating this festival to hopefully have a good yield the next year.
Right.
And so if you guys like remember from like past movies like The Wicker Man and all that stuff, you have certain traditions to hopefully appease whoever.
Right. I never even thought about this. This just kind of popped into my head. Sorry, I'm already interrupting.
No.
I was like, what if it's like the fall festival because they're like, hey, all the fruit we picked all summer long is going bad. Let's have a festival and bake it all into pies.
Oh, that's amazing though.
Let's so we don't waste it.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, like that's a good like way to sort of not be wasteful, right? That's why we have pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Because you carve out all this stuff, then you like freeze it or something, then when when Colby's favorite time of the year comes by, cause that's when he can consume pumpkin like
exactly
substances. It's a really great. Yeah, that's also a great way to look at it, right? And so they're conjugating in this whole thing. The priest is talking about the upcoming harvest festival, and hopefully for the next year's yield, it's going to be good. But all the children should be careful while they're tricking and treating.
Right.
And also, don't go to that barn.
Right.
There's nothing there for you. But
right. It's really easy because people who are giving out candy have jack-o'-lanterns. And the barn is all dark, so easy to know to not go there.
Exactly, but there is a little mischievous little girl looking at like her friend, probably her best friend or something.
Trying to get dude in trouble.
It's always the blondes that get you in trouble. But yeah, like as soon as they like kind of they get done with the meeting, all the kids like disperse. We get like this like moonlight backdrop of this girl with like a lantern.
Yep.
I was like, it's like the 60s. She should have like a big old chunky flashlight with her, you know, with like 888 battery or what is it, double D batteries.
Yeah.
But that might be too heavy, right? So yeah, they're going to this barn because she's a little mischievous, and she's like, "Come on, Greg, are you a pussy?"
That's basically,
right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, and he's, you know, he has like the classic ghost sheet, you know, not like the three letters that shall not be named sheet,
right?
But just a classic ghost costume.
Yeah.
Did you ever have that costume, by the way?
I did not ever do the ghost costume.
It's so lazy. You just like take an old bed sheet and you just cut holes in them. But you know, if you need a quick fix, right? And so yeah, and she's like, "Come on, we gotta knock. We're just, you know," and he's like, "Oh, come on, we gotta follow the rules. Like, can we just go in town? All the fucking good candy is gonna be gone. The Mars bars and
right, yeah, all the full size candy bars is gonna be gone."
Oh man, you remember when you used to hit up rich neighborhoods?
Candy apples.
Oh, candy apples. Yeah. You know, actually, there was one lady who used to always give out apple slices, but it was like covered in caramel. So not bad. Not as healthy, and you get the caramel.
We had a person who gave away like popcorn balls, but they were like Cracker Jack popcorn balls. They were all like, and we had to hide them from our parents because parents were like, "That's open. You're not allowed to eat anything that's open."
It's true. Razor blades.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody ever.
First of all, you're gonna break that thing apart. Like I felt like the kids that ate it like an apple is like, you guys are like animals.
Right. Yeah.
But I know, and she's like, "Come on, Greg." So she knocks.
Yep.
She knocks on this barn door because she's like, "Look, there's a jack-o'-lantern, and I'm just following the rules, Greg."
Yeah, if there's a jack-o'-lantern, we could eat there.
Yeah. And so she knocks. She's like, "Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat." And honestly, what happens to her kind of justified if you're ringing my doorbell like this.
Right, yeah.
But
bratty little girl.
Right? And then out of the mist, out of the darkness of this barn door, three figures come out. One as a jack-o'-lantern head.
Yeah.
One as like a zombie miner, and one as a scarecrow.
Yeah.
And she's like, "See, Greg, there's people in here. Trick or treat. Was it give me something good to eat?"
Yep.
Right? But before she could finish that limerick, the miner domes her with a pickaxe.
Pickaxe to the skull.
And I was like, "Oh." And that got my hopes up. a child being I was like, "What's wrong with me?" And then
only in movies.
Right? Only in movies.
If you saw a child getting, hit with a shovel,
yeah,
in
you gotta,
real life, you would probably say something.
You got to get the pitchforks and the torches out, to Freddy Krueger this guy.
Right.
But then all of a sudden it skips forward to 1989.
Yep.
We're in a town, I believe, over.
Maybe.
Yeah, right? Because they have to...
Or maybe actually in the town.
Well, no, they do a road trip. We'll get to the...
Yeah.
So they're in the town over, and there is like this garage haunted house little situation, and there's a man in a skull mask telling these children about the legend of the barn.
Right.
The threesome barn. Oh, hold on. I don't want to say it like that.
That's a different movie.
Right?
But yeah, about the miner with the boogeyman miner, the
jack-o'-lantern
with candy corn teeth.
Yeah. And the jack-o'-lantern, and he's like telling these kids, and they're all dressed up in Halloween stuff, and so he's like, all right, now fuck off, here's some candy.
Right. Yep.
But there's one kid that's kind of just dressed up like I don't know, like he's just dressed
It's
up
a
in
lazy
like
costume.
yeah, it really is. It
Yeah.
you know, and he's like, "Where's your costume, bro?" And he's like, "Dog, I'm like from California."
Right.
Or something
Bruh.
like this, right? And he's like, well, hey, and he was about to leave because he was about to tell this guy in the skull mask, like, fuck off, man, like, like, fine, if you don't want to give me candy, whatever. And he's like, wait, hold on, I'm just out of candy in this bowl, but I got a barrel of treats over there.
Yeah. Go ahead and dig in.
Yeah, and he goes. And out of the mist comes like a boy in a Satan costume and freaks out this little kid, and and they kind of laugh about it. But his friend is like, dude, you couldn't find me pants that fit me. I feel like I need like a freaking gynecologist to look for my nuts now. And it's like, man, shut up, man. Just get back in there before someone else comes. And someone else does come.
Yep.
But it's Miss Barnhart.
Yeah.
Who is a part of the church.
Of course.
And she's like, David, I told you. Last year you shouldn't be scared. Now you're doing it again. You're too old for this. And he's like, you're so right, Miss Barnhart. Let me. Well, first of all, we find out it's October 30th, not October 31st, which was like weird.
Right. Yeah.
To me, but
Halloween
okay.
Eve.
Right? But no one trick or treats on Halloween Eve, right?
No.
Right? And so like she's like, all right, well, how about you help me help me clean up, and then and then I will do whatever you want. So she goes over to the barrel of treats, and out pops out Jason. Oh no, I believe the main character's name is Sam, and he's Josh.
Josh, yeah.
Josh pops up, and she freaks the fuck out, right? And she's like, even you, Josh, what would your father say? And he's like, my father's dead, and you're over here acting like you run his church.
Right, yes.
So I was like, oh no, the dynamics of this situation is out of control now. She freaks out, she like dips out, but then his dad ends up coming home.
Right.
And Miss Barnhart calls the dad, and she's like, your son is, being childish. He's out here scaring children, and she, to make up for it, maybe, if he wants to be such a child, he can go trick or treat and look for food drive donations.
Yeah.
And they're just not happy with this whole situation. So they end up going to like the local hangout spot for small towns.
Right.
It's like, a combination of probably mini golf, friggin' go-karts, bowling.
Scandia kind of thing.
Oh, I miss Scandia.
I know, right now.
Right? Or like other places, I think there's like scooters, whatever. Yeah. And so like, they're all hanging out there. Their friends work there. One of the girls that has a crush on Sam works there.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, like, and Josh is like trying to be like, oh yeah, let me order, a drink, pizza slice, and your phone number from my bruh. And he's like, oh, come on, man. Like,
right. But definitely wingman.
Yeah.
At least in practice.
Good guy, And so like, but she's like, oh, here, I'll bring out your guys' food. Go buy the TV. The local horror guy is gonna be on TV soon.
Yeah.
And for you young folks, you have to make sure you caught these, because there's no TiVo in, or there's no like Netflix for this type of no YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So they go, they sit down, they're watching this like local channel celebrity, and he's interviewing a like metal band.
Yep.
And they're like, yeah, bro, we're about to. Oh, sorry, no, that's not how they talk. We're going to have a free concert at 11:59 because that's metal as fuck. And if you guys don't want to be fucking losers, you're going to go there. Tickets are up for sale now. I don't know why I'm doing like what is it?
The devil horns? Yeah.
The devil
yeah.
horns. No one can see this but Colby.
Right. It's all for me.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, man, like, we're about to go to college. This is going to be probably our last Halloween together. And this will be fucking legendary if we go, Sam.
Yep.
And he's like, you're fucking right. But, like, we don't have cars. And then so, like, they think about the only person that has a car. And I don't remember his name, but I'm gonna call him Van because he is a Van.
It's acceptable.
Right? And so we cut to Van, and he's like with his girlfriend. They're about to get down. And I was like, oh shit, there's about to be tits in this movie. And as soon as like you get a glimpse of those glorious hush puppies. Sam and Josh and I believe I don't know what her name is, Jessica. Let's just call her Jessica. They like open the sliding door. They're like, "Whoa, someone was about to get lucky." I fucking hate friends like that.
Right? Yeah.
You know what's gonna go down, and the van is rocking. Don't come a knocking. Did you used to say that a lot growing up?
I heard it. I never said that. I never heard a van.
You've heard somebody say that, though.
Yes. Yeah.
That's hilarious. And so, like, yeah, they tell Van, like, hey, yo, what's it called? Bending Sophie, I don't know, whatever. Oh, no, let's go with Queen Mary. That's a metal historical figure. I feel like, it's also a haunted ship. That's a pretty decent metal band name. They're gonna perform over here at the major city of our state, and it's only like 2 hours away. We can go there, and you're like, oh my god, Queen Mary's gonna be performing. We gotta go.
Yep.
And so, but they're like, Sam was like, oh, hey, I still gotta do the food drive. Josh is like, fuck that, dude. Because he is super against Miss Barnhart.
Right.
Because, it's like, it feels like a monarchy situation. Like, Miss Barnhart's been planning for my dad to die so she can take over this church. Yeah. That's his whole situation. So, but so they plan this trip, and they're going and as they're doing the road trip, they're having fun, very normal teenage horror, montage of just them, in the van doing a little road trip. But all of a sudden, they roll into a town where instead of saying, welcome to Heathcliff, it says, welcome to Deathville. All right, listen. I want to ask, right? If you're on a road trip.
Yeah.
And you're rolling through a small town, and the town sign has been defaced with something like that.
Right.
Are you like, maybe I can find another route? Are you rolling through that?
Okay, so I feel like as a solo, I'm definitely finding another route. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be trapped in Death Town. But if I'm there with my buds, and we got some beers. Maybe Death Town gets a try. Yeah.
Colby was born to just land himself in a horror film.
Right, yeah. I'm definitely not making it to the end.
But I forgot why, but for some reason they end up staying, or they end up kind of what's it called, doing a fire, like a bonfire.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Maybe they just had time to kill.
Right.
Right,
because it's dark, gets dark at 8, and they're not supposed to be back. They got a couple hours before they go trick or treat, and then they got a couple hours before the concert. So they're kind of pre-gaming.
I just feel like they're cutting time, But no, yeah. So they end up doing a little bonfire, and they're like, all right, well, Sam has to go trick or treat for his food drive.
Yep.
And so, Van and his girl end up staying at the bonfire. Hey, if you guys aren't back here in 2 hours, I'm going to go see Queen Mary with my lady.
Going without you.
Yeah, going without you, friggin' losers without cars. And so, they venture out into the town. And, it actually seems like a decent town. There's kids trick-or-treating.
Right.
And all that stuff. And Sam is kind of conflicted. He's like, do I really want to comply with Miss Barnhart's demands of getting these freaking treats and all that stuff? And so he's kind of conflicted. Josh is like, oh, fuck that, bro. And he goes trick-or-treating. I was like, dude, you're 17. You shouldn't be trick-or-treating. If someone that old came up to my door asking for candy, I was like, dude, get a part-time job.
Yeah.
You're out here begging for candy. These are for like 10-year-olds, man. But no, he ends up gathering some. Also, sorry. Before they do actually split
Yeah, I was
up.
gonna say like
They go to the barn.
Yeah.
And I forgot who knocks first.
So they see a barn, and they're all like, "Ooh, it's the barn," and Josh.
Yeah, it's like
no, we can't go to that barn. That's the barn.
That's the barn that.
And they're like, no, that's an old wives' tale. That none of that ever really happened. And then he's like,
but yeah, they all. Yeah, I forgot.
Like, we'll all go up to the barn and knock at the same time. Because what are they going to do to all of us?
Yeah. See, that's your train of thought.
I would never knock on the barn by myself.
But you're like, with my buds,
right?
We could take down.
Yeah.
But so a couple of them do end up actually staying.
Right.
And I believe Russell is like, well, Russell's like their token black guy.
Right.
First of all,
it's an homage to 80s movies, so there's always one.
But I was just like, come on, man. Like, as like a person of color, you're not staying in this fucking creepy barn. And he's like, no, you guys go venture out.
And
I'm going to kick it in this barn.
He is both the nerdy, like most 80s movies, the token black person, somehow is both the coolest person and the nerdiest person in the group.
It's because of his sense of style.
Maybe.
Because he has like the windbreaker jacket.
Yeah.
But he's like nerdy. So it's like kind of like a best of both worlds situation, right? But he's like, oh, I'm going to just kick it in this creepy ass barn.
Right. Well, yeah, right. Because he's like, these two are going to go back to the van and bang. And, and you're looking for... you
food
guys got to
stuff.
go to food drive. So what am I going to do?
Yeah, I'll just kick it in this barn.
Hang out in this barn.
Right. With his like old school Walkman, I was like, so now you're taking one of your senses away.
Yeah. That's always a problem.
Yeah, you always got to have one ear off, Yep. He ends up getting murdered in this barn.
Yeah.
Horrifically, right? So while the three main characters are actually in the town, Van and his girlfriend are like getting down, but she's like, what did she ask for? Did she ask for like a condom or something? Or no, he ends up going back to the barn because he's like, man, Russell's been in that barn for like a weird minute. And so he ends up going into the barn, and he gets confronted by, I believe, the Scarecrow or the Miner.
It was the Miner.
Yeah.
Because
the Scarecrow was eating Russell.
Sounds dumb, but like my one nitpick with this, the Miner looks like a homeless woman from the back.
Right? And like
the horror costumes all great, but from the back the wig on the Miner is
what? He has a supernatural headlamp.
He does.
Because that thing is blinding everybody in this movie, right? But Van ends up going in there. He ends up seeing Russell, who he thinks is somebody else playing a trick on him.
Right.
But then he notices that it's... Oh, no. He goes in there looking for brother, but he notices Russell's head in the corner.
Well, right, because as he started, he's like, oh, excuse me, have you seen my friend?
Yeah.
He was here in the barn, and it doesn't turn around, and then he goes to leave, and he sees Russell's
like body.
Walkman.
Oh yeah.
All covered in blood in the corner, and he's like, oh, that's my buddy Russell's Walkman. Do you know? Did something happen to him?
Yeah.
And then that's when he.
Yeah, and notices like the Scarecrow man eating him.
Yep.
And then he gets chased out by the Miner.
Right.
But then as he's trying to leave, he notices his girlfriend is like impaled by a tractor or something.
Well, because those. Oh yes. Yeah.
And so he freaks out. He's like, "Oh my fucking god, they're freaking real!" And he starts like running into town.
And for some reason, I don't know why, this seems like something Barry wouldn't have skipped in the description. Mm-hmm. But before he goes looking for Russell, he and his girlfriend are banging, and we get at least 7 seconds of boob.
Whoa, hold on, what? So coming back to this, right? I just had to like watch it. And I was like, now I'm upset. I was like, maybe I was making a sandwich, something. But
Are
wow,
there decent boobs?
nice. Those are nice goth boobies.
Right. It definitely. It was the homage to an '80s movie. You can't.
You can't have a horror film
Without just the random
boobs. The sex scene, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. But our group of three do end up in exploring. They do the whole situation with the food drive and everything, but they notice that there is a lot of loud music coming from the church.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's a montage of people getting murdered throughout this city or this small town.
Right.
Right. But they're in this, they're listening to this like metal country, blues country.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I should have done more research. It felt like it was
an actual
could have
band.
been an actual band.
I know, but they had this one guy rocking out on the bass. I was like, that's fucking
right.
metal, dude.
Yep.
But before that, they do notice like there's like this just random old drunk guy just smashing pumpkins all across the town.
Right, and they're a little pissed because they have their toilet paper, their eggs, and then they have M80s because they want to blow up pumpkins,
Right.
and then they keep seeing this old guy smashing the pumpkins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, we can't blow them up if this idiot keeps smashing them all.
It would have been hilarious if like Sam was like, man, Josh, I always wanted to start a band, and this guy just keeps ruining my inspiration. He just keeps smashing pumpkins. So stupid. But yeah, so they're like, what is this old guy's freaking deal?
Right. Yeah.
Right. But they end up in this whole thing, and like they kind of split up a little bit. What's it called? Jessica's gonna go get drinks for everybody.
Right.
But Sam and Josh go talk to the old guy. And they're like, hey, man, because this guy is swigging from his flask.
Yep.
It's like one of those, it's like a flask of holding. Just put any amount of alcohol in there.
Never runs out.
Because he's chugging this thing. He's
repeatedly. Yeah.
It's like a baby calf on his mother on a mama's teeth, just like. But he's like, you guys don't know this, but the what's it called, the diabolical 3 from the barn is real.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, how do you know that, old man? Meanwhile, Jessica sees like an article on the board. She's like, that's crazy. And he's telling the story. He's like, I was there. I saw her get murdered. She got domed by a pickaxe.
Yep.
But then, they're like, oh, how did you survive? He's like, I don't know. It's like they didn't see me at all. Oh, yeah. And as, the viewer,
right.
It's because he
did not.
He got the bed sheet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because, earlier, before they get into this church, one of the miners takes Sam's bag of fucking food.
Oh, yeah. His bag of candy.
But during that time, they had their masks on.
Right.
So they kind of it's almost like they didn't even see him.
Yes.
And so he's like, I don't know why they didn't kill me, but I've been doing my damn hardest trying to keep the town safe.
Right. And so he kind of goes into the lore a little bit, and it's like, it's like, hey, the pumpkin head, he guards the pumpkin patches. And
but he's also a watcher. That's why.
Yeah, and so all the jack-o'-lanterns all across the state, he can look through the eyes of any of those jack-o'-lanterns, so he always knows what's going on.
Yeah, he's the watcher of the 3.
Yeah.
And the what's it called, the scarecrow. He had the candy corn teeth.
Yep.
And if you ever been into a candy corn with his stale, it's hard like enamel. Yeah, you gotta suck on those things before you can just let it melt in your mouth. But don't bite into it; you'll crack a tooth.
Yep.
And the miner, he's the boss. He's the Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, he's the one who collects the flesh for the devil, because they have to collect human flesh and then they put it in the devil's hole at midnight.
The devil's hole.
I was jam meat into the devil's hole at midnight.
Oh, that's even worse. Yeah, you gotta give him that meat, you know? Oh, yeah. But yeah, so they're like kind of freaking out. And then Josh is like, dude, let's just go. All right? Like, this is super childish. And, I hate to say it, Sam, but Miss Barnhart and your dad are right. You can't just keep believing this Halloween bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
And really, Josh only has that reaction because, like, Sam is kind of standoffish about it. And he's just like, before Josh kind of, like, reads him the filth, Sam is like, you know what? You haven't been the same since your dad died.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's things that you're not supposed to say.
You don't go there.
Yeah, and so they get into this fight. Jessica comes into the fray, and she's like, here's your guys' drinks. And she's like, oh, and by the way, Jessica, you're only here because I told Sam to invite you. He didn't want you here.
Right.
And she's devastated because she has, like, had this huge crush on Sam.
Right.
And so,
and they had a moment earlier, and so like they both. She's at least thinking that he's
interested as
well.
But so she ends up leaving. All of a sudden, Van, who we find out is Christopher, I like Van better. He comes in. He starts freaking out. He tells Sam and Josh, like, it's all fucking real, dude. Russell and Nikki are dead. They're fucking dead, man. We gotta get the fuck out of here. We gotta go to Queen Mary. No, he doesn't say that. But then all of a sudden, the Diabolical Three, they close off this church. And they come in here and start. It looks like the scene. It's not as cool as the scene from Kingsman, the church scene.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much that scene because they start doling out fatalities left and right.
Right. Yeah. The devil's gonna eat well this year.
Oh, and I gotta say, this is probably where this movie shines. Like in the amount of gore and practical effects of that's in this movie.
Imagination.
Yeah. The only thing I was kind of like put off by is like they really had to put the little like electrical like energy flow flashes. It was like that was like super dated.
That's very 80s. Yeah.
And I understand it's supposed to be a homage, so whatever. But no, they murdered everybody here.
Yeah.
Van is able to escape.
Right.
He's able like, oh fuck this! If you guys aren't by the van, by the time I get there, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And Gregory, who is the survivor from 1969, he's like putting a knife to a stick. He's the only way to stop this, to stop the tribute, is to kill these three. Yeah. And
he's like, so if I can fight them, even if I could just hold them off till midnight. At midnight, then you'll be safe.
Yeah, and then the ritual will be done.
Yeah.
And whatever that happens to this town will happen. I was like, don't worry, guys. I'm super proficient in knife on stick.
Yeah.
And I'm drunk.
In old video game style, he duct tapes a knife
like Dead Rising.
Of a broom.
I was like, I don't know, Greg. I don't think the durability on that thing is really high.
Yeah.
He was like, drunken style knife stick. He ends up getting slashed in the stomach.
Right. He holds his own for a minute.
Yeah, but he doesn't do any damage. He's just a rat trapped in a corner situation.
Right.
It's so funny because he's having this death scene. He's like, I did it, right? I held him off a little bit. I did my best. And they're like, yeah, dude, sure.
And he's like, hey, I guess one man can't stand up against three.
It's like, anyone could have told you that, Gregory. But they're like, but Josh is having this sort of, it's like he's found a calling. He's like, I gotta stop these guys. These guys are pure evil.
Right.
Right.
So, it's early on, when they're sitting around the campfire, he's all like telling like the rules of the.
Oh, Sam is telling the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so because he studied Halloween, he studied like these horror things, and he's
Yeah, and like everything.
So now this is his calling.
Yeah, and everything is at least dripped in a little bit of like realism.
Yeah.
Right? And so like they kind of gear up in like, I don't know, gardener gear. Cuz earlier the dad was saying, he's like, I thought when you and your friends were going to like mow lawns you were growing up, but now you just became like hell's gardeners or something like that. So they're like, yeah, like Josh is like, well, better than the Bushwhackers. And I was like, that kind of sounds like a really dope country band. Right? That sounds like a good country band.
Yeah.
Talking about like my swamp boat is sexy type of songs. What are those called? The Swamp Gliders? I feel like you'd know because your dad lives in Florida.
I should know.
Yeah, something like that. But they end up going to the barn because that's where they know that they're going to converge at. But all of a sudden, they start hearing someone speaking sermon. Yeah. And they're like, and it's the fucking priest from the church. Right. And he's like, we're going to sacrifice this virgin. Oh, well, it was like 1989. Maybe she still is. And she's pretty fucking shy around Sam, so probably. Yeah. And they're like, and sorry, before this, Josh and Sam do get into a fight with one of the Diabolical Three. Right. And it seems Pumpkinhead. Yeah, they're able to kind of almost like stop him. Josh is like, I'm gonna fuck this dude up because he killed like Van, and he presumes that he's killed a lot of his other friends. And Josh is feeling like that holy righteousness. Yeah. Like he's a fucking paladin, right?
And they were at the actual pumpkin patch, so they had kind of like separated, and so they're just fighting Pumpkinhead, not the trio.
Yeah, and it's funny because like during that time they're like, we got to kill all these pumpkins, and I was like, that had to take like 45 minutes.
Right. Yes.
They're smashing all these.
They're
pumpkins.
Like, if he could see out the pumpkins, then he could become. Those pumpkins can become him.
Yeah, that's the most dangerous thing is information. Yeah. So yeah, but Josh is able to almost put him away until they get a little too cocky. Yeah. And he does pop up because like Josh accidentally covers one pumpkin. He spawns from that. He stabs Josh in the gut. Yeah. And then he kind of like hauls him away because he knocks out Sam because Sam tries to punch him too. Yeah. So he knocks him out. They're hauling him. They're hauling Josh somewhere. Sam doesn't know where, so he's like, let me go to the church or let me go to the barn because that's probably where they're gonna be at. Again, the priest is doing the sermon, holding up Jessica for a sacrifice. He goes in there in a uniform or like a disguise. Right. And then someone else comes in there with like, I don't know, something else. But
there's like I don't know, dark priests. There's a bunch of people in like robes with like hoods.
Yeah, but they look like they're actual like summons or something too.
Right, but you can't really at first you'd kind of assume it's people. Yeah. But then they look
pretty demonic, right? Yeah. But then Josh comes in also another disguise. Yep. And he's able to free Jessica, and he's like holding everybody up, and like finally Sam does take some action. He slices off one of the disciples' heads. Yeah. Like in a really gruesome fashion, not like clean from the neck, but like from
through the skull.
Through the skull. And they kind of take care of all these disciples. And what's it called? They bless the flesh with like weed killer or something.
Right. Yes, because it was like, this is the bucket of blood that we're gonna give to the devil, and he's like, well, I've got weed killer. Yeah. Let's poison it. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I think they do actually end up killing Jack-o'-lantern, and I think they were fighting the miner. That's where that's where Sam gets knocked out because remember they throw an M80 into the Pumpkinhead.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So sorry about that. Sorry about the confusion. So Pumpkinhead presumably dead.
And then the miner, they're not sure. They ran him over with
the van? that's yeah. They do run him over. Kind of disappears for a little bit. Don't know where he's at. So yeah, they're in this church. They start blessing this like these body parts. The priest is like, no, please don't. Our harvest will fail and the town will die. Right. He's like, you shouldn't be doing this, dude. There's, technology has come so far.
And then he's like, yeah, but it's not like you were sacrificing one person. Your minions were in town and they killed like everybody.
Yeah, who's there left to save?
Yeah.
Earlier they did get into a scuffle with the Diabolical Three, and Sam was able to grab the necklace from the miner. And so, like, when they're, like, playing, he's like, where's the devil's hole? It's like, you'll never get there. It's in the basement. But you don't have the key.
And it's like, this key?
Like, no, how did you have that? So they end up going in there. They end up going into the room. Josh goes into the room. He's, like, blessing whatever the body parts are. But then he gets locked in there, and now Sam has to fight the miner.
Yes.
And Sam does, he gets pretty fucked up, but he ends up, incapacitating him.
Yeah.
For a bit. And then they also fight the Scarecrow, but Sam was able to get Josh out of his, the hole, or the closet.
Right.
The devil's hole did pop up.
Right, yeah.
But, all the body parts are now, blessed, so you can't eat that stuff. Sam and Josh were able to tag team on the Scarecrow and kill him, but then all of a sudden the miner pops up again.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm the fucking boss, bitch. Legendary action. If you guys can't tell, I've been watching a lot of D&D campaigns. Legendary reaction. But no, it's called, with them both together, they're able to also decapitate this guy.
Yeah.
And they do it in a pretty gruesome fashion too. It's like from the upper jaw up. Like Sam is able to take the shovel that he had been using fighting this miner, and pop the top off.
And then the horrible wig falls off, and it's got horns.
Oh, it does. Yeah, I forgot about it. So that would explain why he looked like a homeless woman.
Yes.
From the back.
Right. He's trying to cover up his horns with a bad wig.
But yeah, and so as they're trying to get out of this barn, the barn door is locked.
Right, yeah.
And they start
because they're in the basement.
Yeah,
so like it's been closed.
Yeah. It's funny though because now they're trying to find a way out. They're like, there's no windows in this basement. And Josh is pretty messed up. He still has that gut wound.
Yeah.
And man, if you guys know, gut wounds are just spell death.
Right, yes.
Pretty easily. And so they're kind of contemplating about what they're going to do now. Now that they're probably going to die in this barn. But they're like, oh no, her name isn't well, I'm just going to call her Jessica now just for continuity's sake. She's like, oh yeah, Jessica's going to get us help and they'll find us. He's like, well, if they don't.
Oh, that's right. Because before they went downstairs into the basement.
They told her to leave.
Yeah.
They share, Jessica and Sam had that kiss. He's like, you drive as far as you can to a payphone.
Yeah, put this mask on. They won't be able to follow you.
Yeah.
And then just,
and call somebody to come help us. But Sam and Josh are down there. They're kind of figuring their time is probably up. And
the priest is still half alive, and as he's trying to get out, he knocks over the candles and lights the barn on fire.
Yeah, that's fucking smart to have a candle in a place with a whole bunch of hay. They should have gotten those candles, in those medium fancy Italian restaurants. It's a candle, but it's really just a nightlight.
I wonder if Satan cares.
Right, exactly, right. But they're like, I think something's still gonna come out of this hole, and so they get ready.
Yeah.
They as you would say in D&D, they would ready in action, And the movie freeze frames into them, presumably fighting something coming out of this hole. All you see is a hand.
Yeah.
And you could presume it's maybe a mid-level demon, but they're like best friend power.
Right. Yeah.
The credits start to kind of roll until we get to a mid-credit scene, bold for this movie.
Right.
It's Jessica driving away, hysterical,
Yep.
crying. I feel they're always in these movies, there's always especially in the 80s, it's always the final girl getting away, but crying or laughing hysterically.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, and then all of a sudden, in the back seat, there's a pumpkin head.
Well, So she lifts off the mask.
Oh, she
and
does.
then the pumpkin that's in the back seat starts to flicker.
He forgot one piece of information.
Yep.
Don't take off the mask till midnight.
Yep.
And the movie ends there. Now, Kobe told me there's a sequel, and I kind of have to watch it now.
Oh, right. No, if I would have seen that there was a sequel a day earlier, I would be telling you about that as well.
Now let's get into our other section: high star, low star. Kobe.
We got a 10 out of 10. They don't make them like this anymore. Growing up in the 80s and watching the horror genre bloom into slasher mania was awesome. Over the years, I've been subject to Hollywood's watered-down PG-13 horror films. Thankfully, this movie shows up with barely even a budget and actually tries to be a good movie. Screw horror needing to be...
Super scary.
Screw horror needing to be super scary. Great acting and impeccable makeup and special effects. This movie is why I love horror movies, because it was fun. This flick has a great story and, more importantly, heart, and that's what won me over. You could tell that this was made by people who enjoyed these type of movies. We will need more films made by fans and less made by big studios. Mark this as a win for independent horror, baby.
And then we have a 1 out of 10. Why do I do this to myself? This is one of the most god-awful movies I've ever seen. Anyone who has rated this film above 2 has to be directly connected to the movie. There aren't any spoilers about this movie because there's nothing worth mentioning. The acting is terrible. The special effects are worse. Whoa. I know that this is supposed to be a low-budget fright fest, but I would be surprised if the producer spent more than $100 on this trash. Poor decisions and rash behavior are hallmarks of virtually every horror film ever made, but some of the actions and decisions taken and made by the main characters are beyond imbecilic. If this is supposed to be a tribute / throwback to slasher horror flicks from the 80s, it fails miserably. The plot is ridiculously unbelievable and even crappy by crappy movie standards. The one thing I will agree, the acting could have been just a little, like, it could have been B. I needed it to be B movie horror level acting.
Yeah.
Because maybe
understandable.
But I could understand that because of this movie's budget, maybe they just took like college students, like, hey, do you want to make, quick buck? Maybe they got like $1,000 a piece for this movie. I don't know how long this movie really could have taken to film.
Right.
Less than a month, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, like, the most time would be setting up the special effect, or setting up the practical effects to happen, and then that I'm sure that took 3 times longer than actually filming those scenes.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like, oh no, Cindy, there's something really weird over there. That's sort of the level of act. I'll give them a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of wooden. But the gore and the practical effects of this film, I say, make up more than a lot.
Right.
Of this, of the faults of this movie. The movie is, I mean, like, you're talking about movie plot being kind of simplistic. I mean, the 80s movie plots were kind of straightforward.
Right, yeah.
Oh, you guys are in my lake, I gotta kill you. You guys know my name, so you're dreaming, I'm gonna kill you.
Right, yep. You fell asleep on Elm Street.
Right, I'm gonna kill you. There's nothing really ever too complex about that.
Right.
I mean, even like Sleepaway Camp, which is probably like one of the best, I would say, one of the best examples of a low budget movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty simple too. Like, oh, actually no, that one is probably a little bit more complicated. Because of the ending. It has the ending of Sleepaway Camp probably has to be one of the most iconic horror movie twists.
Sorry to the current time, but pre-internet there was
an era of mystery.
Yes. When there was a movie that had a twist ending, unless your friend spoils it for you.
And you deck that kid in the face.
Right. It was still a surprise.
Yeah. I'd probably have to say that one is a good thing of like that one's a good example of low budget, but probably the best one is probably John Carpenter's The Halloween. Really, that is probably still the most like, oh, this movie costs, 30 grand to make and it made like a couple million, and back in like the 70s,
Right.
that's like billions worth now, right? And so, I could see like I could see the passion from this. I was like, I'm not gonna knock this movie for a very simplistic storyline. That's
Because it is what it is. I'm like
yeah.
that. It's if it's doing an homage to '80s, it nailed it. Like
Yeah.
the style of the movie, the you throwing a little boobs in there for really no reason, the practical effects, the enough of a like story about why those that it's like that you're not just like no. You're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
we can go with that.
Yeah, it's great that they put that beginning scene in there to sort of set up like this lore about
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and then you get like a little bit of a lore dump from Gregory, who is connected to the first
Right.
incident that happened, so you kind of connect the two timelines together. You have like your character tropes, like the cool guy with the hot goth girlfriend. You have your like nerdy friend and black token friend.
And you got your one cameo, right? Isn't the guy who owns or is like promoting the rock concert? Isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's
like not a face that you'd recognize, but I think he is like, was he like Victor Crawley, or
yeah, freaking Ari Lehman, who he's what's it called? Yeah, he's a composer.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Yeah, you get your what's it called? Yeah, your obligatory cameo from somebody a little bit more famous.
Yep.
Yeah, no, so yeah, this movie you could tell it is definitely a love letter to 80s films. I can see why some people, especially if you're not like a big huge fan of like campy horror films, and you're expecting just a little bit more, then you're definitely not gonna like this one as much.
Right. And it's interesting, like you read the two reviews that we just had, and it was one person was like, I loved 80s horror movies, and so I loved this because this was trying to be that.
Yeah.
And the other guy was like, I hate 80s horror movies. Why would they try to do that?
And it's
This
like,
is even bad for that.
and it's like, why did you watch this then? You know what I mean? And it's kind of rough because this came out 2016, and that was sort of the boom of the slow burn horror. Like I believe Hereditary came out during that time, The Beach, and stuff like that. So like maybe you were kind of looking for something that you were like in the wrong aisle of the VHS store,
Right.
or you dug a little too deep in the bin.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, no. I think as many like cons I have about this movie, I think the pros definitely outweigh it for me. That I want to watch the sequel, and I could understand why this movie has a sequel.
Right.
Because you're like, give me more of that. The gory, the stupid decisions made by these characters.
And yeah, I could see it being almost Sharknado-y, where like Sharknado, they were like, this is really low budget, and then it was campy good enough that all of a sudden they were like, hey, we'll give you more money to do a sequel, and we'll get you a couple more cameos from like famous people, and then by the third one it was like, oh, whatever this costs, blank check.
You guys have saved the Sci-Fi Channel. Well, Colby, there's people like you who love sharks. You're people like you are the reason why there's Shark Weeks. I mean, I gotta say, you're probably in the 20% that just like love sharks, and then the 80% have like a sexual thing about sharks. Oh my god, it's so vicious in the water.
I do not have a sexual thing about sharks. That's not me. You were like octopuses, maybe. That's an old hentai crossover fantasy thing. Whatever.
It's art.
But not sharks.
Octopuses have been around for a long time.
Right.
In weird fetishes. Oh, man. But yeah, we're coming up to our hour. So I want to, first of all, thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully you guys have spooky Halloweens all along the way.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to check out our other Halloween months, definitely it's there. We have probably, I think, like 4 years worth. Or 5 years worth? Yeah. We have like 4 to 5 years worth of Halloween movies that you guys probably have never seen. So definitely check out those months.
And like a horror Halloween is it's more than just like, hey, here's a horror movie. Like this embodies Halloween. These movies.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah. We think about it before we.
Yeah, because I know we like throughout the year we do end up doing some like horror films. We throw some horror films in there, but this like Halloween month is usually we try to find movies that are around Halloween.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's definitely a lot of fun. But if you guys, if this is the first time you guys joining us, we do our reviews in 4 different sections. We have stream it, DVD it, Blu-ray it, and I guess the Ultimate Box Collection, Colby.
It's got a sequel. I haven't even seen the sequel, and I'm already like, yeah, I'll take the box. Hey, and both of them were straight to streaming or straight to DVD or whatever it was.
Probably straight to streaming now. It's a lot cheaper for companies to do it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what would you say? Box? You going
box? Yeah.
Man. Colby loves that,
I was like, if it's DVD, it's probably both movies on one disc.
Yeah.
But
but no, yeah, I'd probably go Blu-ray on this. I think this movie is like a ton of fun, especially if you're like, this is like, if you love 80s horror films, this is definitely taking you back to that time.
Right, yeah, and you do, if you like doing little Halloween parties and stuff, this is a great like early in the night Halloween movie where like people don't have to necessarily, really pay attention to get the story, but they're watching this while they're waiting for people to show up, and then
it'd be like, oh fuck, that little girl got domed in the head.
Right?
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Oh, his eyes popped out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good kill when the eyes popped out. Yeah, like the super creative kills in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I kind of miss that. Like I think that's why like Terrifier gets so much like cult love. Because as like gratuitous, that movie is pretty gratuitous as far as like indie horror films goes. You kind of just miss like, dang, that's a terrible way to die.
Yes. Yeah. I love the imagination. Like, cause sure, you watch people get hacked up, and that's cool. But like, the more the creative the kill, the better. And I always kind of felt like that was part of what the Saw franchise had, was like every kill was like super imaginative.
Yeah, I think for the Saw thing, it's just like, if they didn't keep bringing back Jigsaw, that timeline for Saw is so complex.
Right.
At this point, that you're just like, you have to probably watch like a 45-minute YouTube video, kind of piecing this thing in chronological order. It's almost as bad as like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
And I think I watched a 2-hour video explaining the chronological order of Kingdom Hearts. Didn't have to be that freaking complex. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out our links down below where we have all our social media links.
Hey, yeah, we got our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube. I will be doing some fun drinks, Halloween drinks based on movies.
Ooh, on the TikTok?
On the TikTok.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty sweet right there. You have the full bar,
I just got black vodka.
Oh.
I actually got it because of the Dark Knight drink that I was going to make, but it works great with Halloween as well.
It's way better than a Jaeger.
Yeah, you say that, but I found a recipe for a Jaegerita, which is a Jaeger margarita, and it is pretty tasty.
Oh, that's because you're turning into a slushy. That's why.
Yeah.
It's like, you Jaeger straight up, not that great. But if you like incorporate it into a 7-Eleven slush, then it's like, oh, I can kind of forgive some things.
Right.
But I'll probably take a small on that.
Fair enough.
But thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to talk to us, like Colby always says.
Send us a message, like and share, and give us some recommendations.
Yeah,
which one month we'll do let somebody pick the theme, and then we'll let our viewers pick the movies that we review.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out the theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music Podcast 3, and her Bandcamp is down below.